Network-centric organizations are built in contrast to hierarchy-based organizations and are optimized for, quote, complex, rapidly changing environments, close quote. The defining distinction between network-based organizations against traditional hierarchy-based organizations is the emphasis on integration. This means that employees from all different parts of the company can come and work and exchange resources and work collaboratively with different employees on a per-needs basis. To help facilitate this process, knowledge bases are used, which include metrics on different employees of their work history, interests, and availability. These factors combine to build a collaborative appeal factor for making those decisions. It is also worth mentioning that small groups lead to the best integration. Larger groups have been found to have reduced communication and integration compatibility. On a final note, management is adapted to what is known as consensus management. In this form of management, leadership roles are reduced and every employee has a greater say in important decisions made for the company. Those that do remain in management capacities have these established based on their expertise rather than seniority. And now for a few examples of real-world network-centric organizations. First, Valve Corporation, a game developer and distribution company, has established a culture of, quote, no bosses. This was inspired by the CEO's previous experience at Microsoft. In this company, employees move around freely. Quote, there's no manager to convince to let them go. They just move their desk to the new group, close quote. At Treehouse, an online learning platform that teaches coding skills, they transitioned from a hierarchical organization to a network-centric one. Although initially this started out as, quote, utter chaos, they were glad they did it. Individual developers at this company felt more empowered, had greater ownership on the product, and had improved communications. The third example is the RP division of Universal Corporation, which worked with an adapted version of the framework of network-centric organization, which has now been tasked to be expanded to other areas of their parent organization. The significant differences here in their implementation was that they maintained hierarchical characteristics for resolving conflict and interfacing with external sources.
I'm going to talk a little bit about the how-to of network organization and how it is used in the real world. First, meetings are commonly held via audio or video conferences. Since network organization is a communication channel between each member of the team, a video conference or a big meeting where everyone's together is the best way to do this. Second, questions are asked and addressed and discussion happens. Inside these video conference meetings and the big classroom meetings, it's a great time for questions to be asked and answered, and also for discussion to happen about important topics in the project, and also be able to have everyone give their opinion to decisions that need to be made, and make those decisions inside these video conferences. This brings us to our last point. The consensus is reached and reported. Once everyone has given their opinion about the decision that needs to be made, the decision is come to a consensus, and then that decision is reported to the senior managers.
To know when to effectively use the network organization, you need to understand all of the advantages and disadvantages that come along with it. There are three main benefits that come from using the network organization. The first is dynamic functionality. What this means is that different groups of people working for the same organization can operate using different sets of principles. For example, Group A employs pair programming and has everyone working together all the time, while Group B has everyone work individually and then collaborate in group meetings. The second major benefit to network organization is having a flexible working environment. The idea is that managers and principals of a company are not as restrictive on their employees, allowing them to work however and with whoever they want. And this not only increases job satisfaction and happiness, but it actually raises the overall performance of employees as well. The final benefit to network organization is end mediation. While the team is working on a project, they record all of their data and results in their process so that it can be used as a resource in the future when working on newer projects. This helps mediate assignments to various team members so that they can work on things they have experience with and that they're skilled at. This keeps the required level of management down so that this flexible environment can exist. we also need to take a look at the disadvantages associated with network organization. There are a lot of challenges that go with transitioning to this organization from another kind. It has a steep mastery and adjustment curve. The first major challenge involves issues with responsibility and accountability. The individuals have that flexible working environment, but they also have more responsibility. They don't have a manager to help ensure that they're achieving their deadlines and finishing their assignments. So every single member of the organization has more responsibility. On top of that, network organization has less efficient communication channel costs. In a hierarchical organization, there's only one channel for each employee to their manager, and their manager is able to get out a message in one channel to every employee. But when you're using network organization, every individual needs to be able to communicate with every individual. To count the number of required communication channels in a network organization, you can use the formula n times n minus 1 divided by 2. So if you had 10 members of a team, you would need 45 channels of communication in a network organization, as opposed to the 9 that are required for a hierarchical organization. While quite effective under the correct circumstances, the network organization is not the most efficient organization to use in every situation. The advantages, disadvantages, and scenario all need to be considered and analyzed before choosing to use this organization type.
Network organization is very effective for lots of different kinds of companies. First, network organization is effective for companies with minimal supervision. This is because network organization enables their members to accomplish work and to coordinate their work activities with others under minimal supervision. Since network organization is somewhat self-directed because everyone works in the same group and there's not a lot of managers, this allows a lot less management within the company. Second, network organization is effective for agile companies. This is because it enables organization members to self-direct their work activities and to self-synchronize their coordination with others. This is great for Scrum or Agile type methodologies because many are self-directed and also require a lot of quick decision making throughout the project. Lastly, network configuration is effective for companies with employees in various locations. Since most collaboration in a network organization is done via video conference, this allows the ease of communication between employees that are not working in the same location.